So how is it that this material is somehow still socially acceptable after it was used to poison and still is killing people today? You see, what they do there is it actually is a degradation of morality on a mass, but it happens all in the subconscious. See that? People know graphene was what was in those jabs. It clotted and was literally self-replicating. That's why it basically turned their veins into venom symbiotes. You see those things come out? And hey, what happens to those after they're disposed of? Are they dead? You see what I'm saying? And so, if they use Hollywood to create mirror images of stuff and it helps them do their ritual spells, then what were they trying to bring forth with the Venom movies, or actually the Venom symbiote that has been in the comics since the 80s? Strangely, the exact same time they changed the vaccine packs. So if you were born in the late 80s or 90s, you got way more jabs than if you got in the 80s. I'm just saying these things, they tend to have some weird symmetry. So anyways, again, this is more about, like with the graphene gets used this time, it will probably actually be in a very beneficial, quote-unquote, way to society. But it will be absolutely part of the 1 Thessalonians 5:3, false peace. Graphene is 1 atom thick and has the strength nearly of diamonds comparatively for how, okay? So when they start stacking this stuff and it can be rearranged using electricity, it's a wonder molecule. It's almost like it came from another dimension or something. It's like magical almost. And so that he's using it, that they're running stories like this. They show these to the Silicon Valley people who read articles like this first, and then it slowly makes its way out. They acclimate people to information. That's all they use the internet for, really. It's one giant spellcaster to acclimate people to their witchcraft. But, that amazing, but when God steps in, like, give me an example. When you go to Google and you type in the beginning of a Bible verse, you can type in M-A-T. It usually pulls Matthew up in the searches. God has placed himself so deep inside of Silicon Valley's system. How? Because Christians have been using the internet. All things work together to the good of those in the kingdom, for the kingdom. Because what's God doing? He's putting all of Christ's enemies at his feet. So that's the thing to watch for right now, is where's your spiritual acumen? What are you thinking eternally? Are you caught up in the present and the now? And it's so easy, like, to be tricked by churchianity. Churchianity will tell you, well, you got to stay in the day. Stay in the day. Not stay in the day at the expense of your eternal soul. It's okay to think ahead. What thinking in the day means is more for the daily stresses that would create anxiety, that would be. But eternal and spiritual things, spiritual world is base reality. So it's never like backwards thinking spiritually. It's always progress. Of course, if you're thinking spiritually and you're using occult methods, then I guess it's not progress, but I'm confining it to, I'm assuming that you guys are Christian. So, what do we have here again with Elon? I think Elon is supposed to be triggering because all they really care about is what the Christians think. The only thing they're really paying attention to is what Bible-obsessed people are doing. You may think this is like, why would they do that? Because they are severed from God, these fallen angels. And the best way they can get a cue on what's going on, it sounds weird, but I am very, very convinced of this. Over 10 years, and really the last 5-6 years of posting, I've become almost certain that this is what's going on, that there are many eyes on you, Christian, good and bad. But remember, just like when Elisha asked God to open up his servant's eyes, and he could see that those with us far outnumbered those with them. But in your physical sight, it will look like they outnumber you. They don't. God is with you, and you know this. So we covered a lot of different things. Kind of one of these things that with the way the algorithms work and the way the AI works, we've done this in the past where we throw like 4 different topics into a video, and it seems to work pretty good. So I'm thinking, let me know what you think of this. If you really don't like it, this format of jumping topic, then I won't do it anymore. But if no one says anything and it gets the usual likes, we'll probably go back to this, because the algorithms are set to censor, I think, triggered by certain topics, and then there's different levels. Well, we'll make it think harder.